You know, back in 2015, this game came out. A year later, people played it. No, I played it a year after it came out, I think, roughly. Um, in my opinion, very fun game, Undertale. Obviously, I don't have time to play it all um, in one video. That would be a very long video. Um, I wanted to talk about the soundtrack because I think the soundtrack to Undertale is really lovely. And people always make fun of like people who listen to video game soundtracks. There's that I saw like a Reddit post where someone was talking about like rap music, and they're like, "Oh, I'd rather listen to video game soundtracks." And it's this whole thing you see on YouTube a lot of times. People make comments like, "Oh, music today is all about like rapping about money and women and drugs," and it's like, no, it's not really, but also like it's a little bit true. Like those are definitely like recurring topics that we see all the time. I just noticed her eyes are like brown. Most of the sprites are just white in the battle, so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, people say all this kind of stupid stuff, right? And it's like, as I've grown up, I have cared less and less about the lyrics to songs. People are always like, oh, people are always talking about drugs and sex, and it's like, well, that is true. But first of all, talking about those topics doesn't mean your music is any less profound or any less good. Not that music has to be profound to be good, but I think a lot of the time people are saying stuff like this because they are interested in lyrics of songs. But as I've grown up, I've realized I don't care about lyrics super too much. There's a lot of songs I listen to where I don't know the lyrics that well. There's a lot of songs where the lyrics are in a different language, and it's like, cool, whatever, like the song is good. And I just don't think that we necessarily have to prioritize learning the words, or like understanding the words. But that's part of the art, obviously. But I mean, if all you care about is the words, then why music? Why not spoken word? Why not prose? Right? Why are we not talking about prose if we don't care about the other aspects nearly as much? And so, okay, people make fun of video game music, but video game music is good, and it's really good study aid. I listen to the Minecraft soundtrack and Undertale soundtrack and stuff when I'm studying because it doesn't distract me as much. If I'm working on an assignment, sure, I can be a little like looser, but if I'm trying to like learn something and actually take in the information, I can't listen to songs where the lyrics are going to distract me, right? I've been listening to Chapel Roan's album, The Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess. Really good album. My favorite album I've listened to this year, and it's like, I love listening to that album. I listen to it when I do all my assignments and shit, but I can't study and listen to Red Wine Supernova at the same time. That's distracting as hell. I don't know. That's kind of my my take on the like lyrics thing. So it's good background music, but it's also just good music. I was listening to the Minecraft music, getting like emotional. It's like, it's not just the nostalgia. Like a huge part of it has to be the nostalgia, just because I've played Minecraft my whole life. It's been like such a major part of it. Equally, I think that like it is just good music, and there are a lot of feelings put into that soundtrack. Like I think if you pretend that it's sad, or like it's emotional music because of just the feelings that you have attached to it already, that kind of discounts like the work. That to me makes it feel cheaper, because any song can have a memory associated with it, right? A bad song could have a memory associated with it. Minecraft is really doing something here. It's really, really doing something with its soundtrack. So I think it's really good. There's a video game that was Mario Galaxy, right? So Nintendo made a music app recently. You need Nintendo Switch Online. But if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you can stream Nintendo music on their Nintendo app. And I downloaded it. I listened to a few tracks and I was like, this is cool, but not super useful to me because because I use Spotify, and going between music players just to listen to Nintendo music is kind of like I don't want to listen to Nintendo music that much anyway. It's like I would enjoy it. I was listening to the Mario Galaxy soundtrack. It's like, man, this is so good. It's all like orchestral and it really captures this kind of feeling of, I think space is one of those, like, I think I talked about it recently on an episode. I won't go too deep into it, but I think space it's a place that captures the creativity and thoughts and feelings of humanity so well, because it's like, it's this big expanse and you can project anything onto it, right? You can project anything onto the cold depths of space because nothing's actually there. And so you can project all sorts of feelings. You could say, it's exciting because it's like adventure, right? There's so much to see in space. You could say, oh, it's scary. It's so lonely. You can project so many feelings onto space. I think it's super cool, right? And I guess the main thing is that it captures, to me, a lot of those different feelings quite well, because the whole game Mario Galaxy is about being out in space. It captures the exploration really well. Gusty Garden Galaxy, what a fantastic song, right? It captures the loneliness and the quietness. There's so many songs. I can't think of the names off the top of my head. I don't know the soundtrack back to front, but there's so many songs that are kind of quiet and almost melancholic. I wouldn't say any of them are particularly sad, but certainly thoughtful. It's a fantastic soundtrack, and I'm thinking, wow, like I hope that this stereotype about video game soundtracks doesn't put anybody off of like really like listening to them and deep diving into those kinds of music, because I think there's some really cool stuff to be found in video game soundtracks, and in particular Mario Galaxy. What a fantastic soundtrack, man.